Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the OR News broadcast. It's 6 o'clock, and that means it's now time for our English Flash News edition. And I'm Daniel Cook, your host, 6 days a week at 6 p.m. In today's news, Prime Minister Edi Rama has once again reminded the Albanian people that there will be no lenience in the fight against electricity theft. At a conference entitled Electricity Recovery, Mr. Rama reminded the Albanians that they must pay their electricity bills regularly, or else they will suffer the consequences. He said, "The poor, the retired, and the disabled are the ones who are paying their electricity bills. There were 5,000 electricity debtors among the ranks of the state police. Those who have not paid up to this point can still pay before the deadline of February 28th. If they do not, measures will be taken against them. This operation is not a campaign or an action. It is the fight to make Albania what it should be," said Mr. Rama. The Interior Minister, Sajmir Tahiri, said that the operation to cut the illegal electricity connections also punished the governmental officials, the police, and the OSHA employees who were previously untouchable. He gave assurance that there will not be any police officers or OSHA employees who do not pay for their electricity. He also said that the police will be in control of all actions against electricity abusers. Prime Minister Rama promised that the new digital meters will soon be installed. He said, "We will soon install the latest technology, which has proven successful in other countries. Using this technology, the consumer can prepay their electricity without going to the OSHA offices. The consumer can order the quantity of electricity that he wants to consume by telephone. We will bring an end to electricity debt," he said. The reaction of the Democratic Party to all of this was immediate. They claim that the Prime Minister has not taken any responsibility for the increase of the electricity price, for the corruption he has caused in the system, and for leaving the country in darkness on the New Year's night. The Democrats claim that Prime Minister Rama has cracked down on the poor people of Albania, while his own directors are energy debtors. The Democratic Party claims that Rama has increased the electricity price by 24%, and they recall to mind his statement that if the price is increased, he will join the protests. Now they say the electricity price has increased, and the protests are coming. The political battle over the local elections and the territorial division continues, and the Electoral College seems to have made an important decision. The Electoral College has accepted the Socialist Party request to reject the decision of the Central Election Commission. The CEC decision equipped the local units with forms in order to hold referendums against the territorial reform. For the Democrats, this decision shows the direct pressure of politics on the judiciary. They say that this will not be the last word on the local referendums. Earlier, legal representatives of the Socialist Party requested that the CEC decision be rejected. They said that the decision was made in contradiction of the law, as the requests for referendum by the local units were not investigated and verified. The CEC legal director said that her institution has the responsibility to verify only the number of people asking for a referendum and whether they are residents of the area in question. According to her, the Constitutional Court is responsible for evaluating the legality of the requests. The Local Observers Coalition is urging the political parties to establish a committee for making appropriate changes to the electoral reform. The coalition feels that the electoral standards might be put into question if the vacancies in the CEC are not immediately filled. They request that the political parties take steps to make the necessary changes to the Electoral Code right away. The Coalition of Local Observers also requests that the list of candidates for municipal councils be made public, and that the 30% quota of women candidates should be respected. The Democratic Party chairman, Lulzim Basha, was in Shkodra today to commemorate the smashing of the statue of Joseph Stalin. The statue of Stalin in Shkodra was torn down on January 14th of 1990. Basha drew a comparison between Stalin and the government of Edi Rama. He said, "The government of the Rama-Meta duo is attempting to impose a new statute in Shkodra and everywhere else. It is as dangerous as that of Stalin. It is the installation of the government with incriminated leaders. This is a great threat to freedom, to democracy, and to civilization," said Basha. Mr. Basha said that the draft law for opening the communist files was just a show by the government, saying that the Democrats have always supported the opening of these files. Basha said that the Democratic Party was the first to request a lustration law, and it should have been done much earlier. The Urban Construction Inspectorate has ordered that all construction must cease at the dam near the artificial lake in Tirana. According to the inspectorate, when the permission was given for this construction, the permission was given without blueprints for the 20-story building, without technical details of the conditions, and without cartographic information. They say that all of these things should have been provided in order to get permission to build. In the absence of these documents, the Urban Construction Inspectorate considers the decision of the municipality of Tirana to be void. In order to submit the project for a second consideration, the owner must present the project to the Technical Council with all of the required documentation. The municipality of Tirana has not officially reacted to this decision. The company in question now has the right to either fulfill these requirements or to address the issue to the court. On August 22nd of 2014, the National Council of Territory made the decision to suspend all building permits until new local units were established under the local elections. The permission for this building was obtained before that date, and the company has been working on the construction project up to this point. The American businesses in Albania have requested the removal of the reference price at the customs points. The General Director of Customs, Elisa Spiropali, has promised that in 2015, the reference point will be removed. She said the same is true for goods coming in from the European countries. The American businesses have raised a concern about the reference price. Even though the government has said that the price will be reduced, they continue to enforce it in the new customs code. The chairman of the Department of Taxation at the American Chamber of Commerce has asked for a solution to this problem. The Director of Customs has also introduced some innovations that the new customs code will bring, which are hoped to reduce the cost of business and increase transparency. The new U.S. Ambassador Donald Lu has started a series of meetings with the Albanian political leaders. The U.S. diplomat met this morning with the Parliament Speaker, Ilir Meta. He familiarized Meta with the U.S. priorities for Albania. Later, Mr. Lu met with the Foreign Minister Ditmir Bushati. Minister Bushati expressed confidence that the new ambassador will contribute to the relations between the two countries. Mr. Lu expressed his commitment to advancing the alliance that we share. He expressed the continued support of the U.S. for Albania in terms of EU reforms, strengthening the democratic institutions, and the development of Albania as a more powerful ally of NATO. The politicians and experts of the justice system are agreeing that the Constitution of Albania needs to be changed. What divides them is the question of how much the Constitution ought to be changed. Dashamir Shehi says that this process must be finished before the 2017 elections, and that it needs to be decided whether the parliament will have 2 rooms or just 1. The former Minister of Justice thinks that the parties need to be prudent when approaching the issue of modifying the Constitution. He said that if changes in the Constitution are necessary, amendments should be welcomed. A change to the Constitution requires 93 Assembly votes. Albania and Italy are going to be setting up a task force for exchanging information on the fight against terrorism. This decision was made public by the Italian foreign minister after meeting with his Albanian counterpart. According to him, the group will investigate the possible recruitment of fighters who are being sent to Syria and other countries of the Middle East. Interior Minister Samir Tahiri said that the creation of a task force with Italy is the right way to manage the problems arising from these groups. During his stay in Tirana, the Interior Minister of Italy held a meeting with the President Bujar and the Prime Minister at Irama. This concludes our news for this evening. Thank you for watching. Please join us again tomorrow at the same time for more Albanian news in English. Thanks and good night.